It's finally here. The Apple Vision Pro has landed in Australia. Stephen Fenech from Tech Guide here, and yep, we've got it, the Vision Pro. We've been using it for the last week. We've got a lot to talk about. This product can do so much, whether it's for work, for play, education, productivity, you name it, it can do it. This is a standalone spatial computer, and we're going to dive deep in this review. I thought we'd start with the design. Apple, fantastic designers of their products, and they've applied the same methodology, of course, to the Vision Pro. It is beautifully made. It is made of high quality materials, and the experience, the hardware and the software is typical Apple. It just works and works great. The product weighs about 600 to 650 grams, depending on the band that you're wearing as well. It does have this light seal that actually attaches magnetically to the actual Vision Pro itself, and that not only cushions the device on your face, but also blocks out all the light, so you can see quite clearly. Each of the interior lenses has more resolution than a 4K television, so it is quite sharp. And if you do wear glasses, like I do, I wear reading glasses, there are also magnetic inserts, some lenses from Zeiss that you can also order for your Vision Pro so that you can see quite clearly, as I have. The part of the purchasing process is actually scanning your face and your head, and also supplying your prescription if you have one, so they can fit you with the right light seal and the right band, as well as those eyepieces. But overall, I think it looks great and fits quite well. Like, obviously the weight is at the front of the Vision Pro, so it's on your face, but this big wide band here, that actually helps keep it in place. There's also a wheel that helps you tighten it to get the right fit. But overall, I found that I was comfortable wearing it for extended periods. So I think big tick on the design, and it is really comfortable to use. It has also not only all the cameras and sensors at the front, it also has speakers that fire down into your ears as well. And I've got to say, the audio quality is remarkable. There's spatial audio, so you can hear sound coming from different directions. It is remarkable whether you're on a call, whether you are watching a movie or any kind of content. It is quite excellent. The battery is not contained within the device itself. The battery is actually separate. So you can see right here, this is the battery pack. It lasts about 2 to 2.5 hours, and it is attached to the Vision Pro using this cable and this proprietary connection right here. Now, this is a little bit heavy, and probably my only negative thing to say about it is that it's a shame that it's not built within the device itself. There are other VR headsets that you may have seen where the battery actually forms part of the band at the back of your head here, and that actually balances out the weight. Apple didn't want to do that. They decided to put it separately, which is okay. You've just got to remember that it's there. You either got to put it in your back pocket or close to you on a surface, and you've got to be really careful that you don't walk away or move around the room and the battery falls to the ground. The danger there is that it could rip the Vision Pro off your head and possibly break it. So yes, I would have preferred to see the battery built in. I know that not having the battery has made the Vision Pro a lot lighter, but word of warning, be very careful when you're moving around with the battery. If it does fall and could potentially jolt it off your face. So I'm sure you've all heard about Vision Pro. It was launched back in the US earlier this year, I think in February. So we are aware of the product, but I do get asked, what's it for? What can it be used for? Well, the answer to that question is quite a bit. Now, you've got to remember, this is a spatial computer, Apple has deliberately not called it a virtual reality, augmented reality headset because it is so much more than that. It can be used for work, for productivity, for gaming, education, using apps, watching content. There's so much you can do. It can help you in all those areas. So to pigeonhole it just as a VR headset or an augmented reality headset, that's only a small part of what Vision Pro can do. So how does it work? There are, of course, two lenses inside, so two screens, I should say, where you can see quality better than a 4K TV on each eye. But I reckon the real power of Vision Pro, one of the strengths, is that there are no controllers. Your controllers are right here. There are cameras built in along the bottom here that can actually see your hands, and all you need to do is tap your fingers together to select an object. Now, the real marvel of the technology is that your eyes do most of the work. It has eye tracking. So for you to select an app or a button that you need to click, you just look at it. It highlights, tap your fingers together, and that's the mouse click. That is the interface that is used across the entire system. There are some apps where you use both hands and you pinch to zoom and bring them in, but you are just using your hands. It is really intuitive and really easy to use. You'll pick it up in a minute. Now, when you first start using Vision Pro, it does examine your hands front and back so that it can obviously know what they look like, but also the cameras along the bottom are constantly looking for your hands for those different gestures. And it's not like you don't have to be holding your hands out the front here either. Your hands can be relaxed and in your lap, and it will still pick it up. So that is amazing that there are no complicated controllers to use. I know there are other headsets out there, like the MetaQuest 3, for example, has two controllers. They've both got 6 or 7 buttons on each controller. That is just really confusing, very frustrating, very hard to learn as well. No such issues with the Vision Pro. With Vision Pro, all of the apps, all of your windows are floating magically in front of you. You can position different apps around the room. You can have extend them, reduce them. You can open them using Siri, close them using Siri as well. So the spatial computing side of things, the spatial part is that you are using the environment around you to be able to place your work, place your windows, just like you would on a physical desktop. Now you have your environment as your desktop. Now, the real strength of any Apple product, whether it's the iPhone, iPad, Mac, is the App Store. And there are more than 2,000 apps that have already been created specifically for Vision Pro. And some of them are incredible. We're going to go through some in this video. But there are also apps that are compatible that work on iPhone and iPad that can also be used on Vision Pro. You're talking more than 1.5 million apps that can be used with the Vision Pro headset. And of course, it uses the interface. So it uses your hand tracking, it uses your eyes to eye tracking as well. So they've been customized for Vision Pro to work just as well as they would on the iPhone or the iPad. Another amazing feature of Vision Pro are the environments. You can immerse yourself completely at Yosemite, Joshua Tree, on the moon. There are several choices that you have that can be just your way of just zoning out and being immersed in that environment, or you can actually use that as a backdrop for your workspace, your desktop, even use it as the backdrop for your FaceTime calls as well. These are remarkable, and they have unique characteristics. The sound is different in each one. Where there is sound, of course, there's no sound on the moon, but if you go to Yosemite, Joshua Tree, you'll hear the breeze, you'll hear rain falling in Mount Hood. So remarkable that you can be totally immersed. You can also do the same thing if you have panorama photos in your image roll, in your gallery. You can also enjoy those panoramas in the very same way. So, how do you use the Vision Pro? Let's start with work and productivity. There are several features that you can take advantage of, whether you're working, whether you want to become more productive, whether you have to complete a presentation. There are so many things you can do. One of my favorite features is using Vision Pro as my display. To do that, if it works with a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro, you simply look down at the laptop and there will be a symbol to say, ask you to connect. The second that you tap on that, It then brings up your display in front of you in 5K resolution, and you're able to enjoy this massive workspace. But this keyboard and the trackpad and the mouse connected to the laptop will continue to be the way you type and move around the screen. I really enjoyed doing that. It helped me focus in on what I needed to do without distractions. It also provided a level of privacy that you can't get otherwise. So if you're working on a sensitive document you don't want other people to see, then Vision Pro can help keep that private. I have to make mention of one app that's already installed on the Vision Pro, and that is Keynote. Making presentations, a lot of us have to do it where we're trying to present a new idea, a new product, whatever the case may be. Creating a Keynote presentation on Vision Pro is remarkable. You can do it natively on the Vision Pro itself, or if it's already on your laptop, you can use then the virtual display. But the feature that I really love is when it comes to rehearsing your keynote. With Vision Pro, there are two venues that you can choose. One is actually the Steve Jobs Theatre from Apple Park. So you click into that mode, you're standing on the stage of the Steve Jobs Theatre where Tim Cook, the Apple CEO, stands for his keynote, looking out into the audience. And if you take a really close look, you can look down, you see your presenter notes, so you see your slides and see all your notes, but take a look behind you as well. Up on the big screen is your presentation. The other option to practice is also set up in a boardroom. So if you've got a boardroom presentation that you have to set up, you can practice in a venue that looks just like where you need to make your presentation. Remarkable attention to detail from Apple right there. So Keynote on Vision Pro is amazing. Viewing content on Vision Pro is an experience like no other. Now, if you, like me, have gone to the great expense and trouble of setting up a dedicated room to watch your content on a larger scale, then watching Vision Pro almost replicates that experience. The thing with Vision Pro, though, it's a solo experience. If you're watching something at home, only you can see it. So I love to watch movies with my family in my theatre. Unfortunately, unless we're all wearing Vision Pros, only I can enjoy that experience. There is a share play option. If you do connect on FaceTime, you can watch virtually the same program. But in terms of just viewing content on your own, there are plenty of options. There are streaming services at Apple TV, of course. There's also Disney Plus that are available. Strangely, YouTube, Netflix aren't on board yet. Don't know whether they ever will be, but you can watch that content from YouTube and Netflix on a browser if you choose to. Now, what I love about the fact is that you can actually set up yourself as if you're in a theatre, and you can be pretending you're in the front row, the middle row, up the back. You can enlarge the screen, you can move it around wherever you want. But the great thing is that the screen moves when you move. So if you want to lie down on a couch, lay in bed, wherever you want to be, if you're on a plane traveling, the screen will be where you're looking. So that's a real advantage. The other thing too is that the choice of content too is there's a lot of 3D content that you can watch. 3D content on Apple TV, on Disney Plus as well, plenty of them. I think this could spur a 3D revival. The 3D on Vision Pro is amazing. It looks incredible, and the only glasses you need to wear are these ones, but the 3D effect, because it's got such high resolution in both screens inside, you are getting an amazing result. And the great news is, as I said, Apple TV, Disney Plus have a lot of great 3D content that can be viewed on the Vision Pro app. And these include all the latest blockbusters like Dune Part 2, all of the Star Wars sequels like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, all available in 3D, among many others, including all the Marvel movies as well. So enjoying your content in 2D, 3D is remarkable. Now, the real exciting content you want to watch on Vision Pro is immersive. It lives up to its name. There is dedicated immersive content that's been created on Apple TV and to come for various sports and other things that really put you on the spot. Puts you courtside, puts you beside the piano. Alicia Keys is singing to you at the basketball, at the NFL, at the football, wherever you're watching. It is like you are there I remember the first time I saw that in my demo, I just said, shut up and take my money right now if I can watch sport like this every week. Live sport like you're there, not in the crowd, on the sideline, on the court. They've got a sizzle reel on Apple TV. It is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, and only viewable on Vision Pro. That's the kind of potential that Vision Pro has. I'm excited for all the new content that is coming out. I think Apple even announced there is a scripted immersive content show that's in production that you can view in a whole new way. This could potentially lead to a whole new way for sports coverage, for filmed entertainment. It is exciting and absolutely demonstrates the power of Vision Pro. In terms of apps and games, there is no shortage of apps you can use, whether it's fun apps, gaming apps, immersive, augmented reality apps. There are plenty to choose from. You can even use your regular apps. Like I was enjoying watching, just going through TikTok while I was using the Vision Pro, and using other apps that you would normally use on your iPhone or your iPad. But there are plenty of games that have actually made use of this platform. There is a drawing game where, well, it's not a game, it's just like a bit of fun where you can choose to, like you draw and create shapes in midair, and the shapes, then you can look around and see it. They're sort of hanging in front of you. You're able to have a little bit of fun like that. There's also some other games like Fruit Ninja. I think it's Super Fruit Ninja. That's an Australian produced game, by the way, where you are using your hands to chop the fruit that's flying around in front of you. I'm sure you remember that popular game on your iPad, on your iPhone back in the day. They're just a couple of examples of the amazing augmented reality as well. There is another one, a couple of astronomy apps that also allow you to view the night sky and even zoom in and pinch and zoom on various parts of the sky to learn a little bit more about the universe. These are just a handful of apps. I could talk for hours just on the apps that are available for Vision Pro that really take amazing advantage of the immersion and the 3D and the whole platform that Vision Pro offers. One of our favorite features with Vision Pro, and I'm surprised by this, is FaceTime on Vision Pro. People are saying, well, FaceTime, normally there's a camera on your laptop or your computer. They can see you, you can see them. But you're wearing a headset. So how do they see your face? Well, what you do is create a persona. And that involves you holding Vision Pro so that it looks at your eyes, you make expressions, you smile, you turn your head to the left, to the right, up and down, and it actually creates a persona based on those scans of your face. And I've got to say, it is amazingly lifelike. Now, I made a couple of FaceTime calls and I could see the other people in the call. There was Trevor Long, my great mate Trevor, and Kane. We were able to see each other and talk to each other like we were in the same room. There was a real presence to us being there together. Whether we stood up, whether we sat down, it's like we were in the same physical space. And I could see their reactions and smiles and laughter rendered on their personas just like they could see mine. It was incredible. And if Trevor, I think, was off to my left, Kane was off to my right, and I was able to hear the sound coming from where they were positioned, like I would if they were in with me in real life. That was surprisingly amazing. It amazed me how good that experience was. And we could share our environments. We could choose to be at Yosemite or Joshua Tree, which is what we did. So our conversation was able to continue with those different backdrops. But the quality of that call, it is way better than a regular video call. It's like we were there. It's a lot more personal. I could look into their eyes. I could see their reactions in 3D. It was like we were together. That really surprised me, the quality of that experience, and I think it will surprise others as well. So if you do have friends that end up buying the Vision Pro, I think make that FaceTime call. You will be amazed at the quality, but also how real it seems when you're in that call. One incredible feature of Vision Pro is enjoying and creating spatial photos and spatial videos. This is an amazing way to preserve your memories. So basically, spatial memories, so videos and photos, have a 3D effect. So spatial videos, which can be filmed either from the Vision Pro itself, or if you have an iPhone 15 Pro or a 15 Pro Max, there is a mode on the camera to create spatial videos, to shoot those videos. So when played back on the Vision Pro, it is like stepping back into a moment in time. It's like you were there. The demos that I saw, I was at a birthday party, I was at we were sitting around a fire, and it's like I was there. It's like I went back in time and plonked myself in the middle of that situation. That is another incredible feature that customers will enjoy. And I think a new feature coming up of Vision OS 2 is the ability to turn your old gallery photos from many years ago into spatial photos as well, to enjoy in a whole new way. That, I think, is going to be another killer feature of Vision Pro. Okay, we need to discuss the price. Vision Pro is not cheap. I think you all know that. It was released in the US, I think $3,500 US. Here in Australia, it starts at $5,999. Now, in terms of features I don't like, I think I remembered the battery being separate. It was something I didn't like, but obviously the fact that it's expensive is going to be a huge barrier for entry for a lot of customers. Not everyone can afford $6,000 for a Vision Pro. Although you think about how avid some people are for gaming, for example. There's a lot of people I know that are huge gamers, love gaming, want every possible speed and low lag and low latency and all of those features. And they go to a lot of trouble and expense to put together computers that allow them to have that experience. And I don't think they'd bat an eyelid spending $6,000, $7,000 for those sorts of computers. This is a computer as well. It is a standalone computer. It does not require an iPad, an iPhone. It can be used independently. It is a computer, and a powerful one at that can provide these amazing experiences. This is the cost of new technology. We've seen it over the years. I remember paying $2,000 for my first DVD player. You can buy them now for $30. New technology costs money. The fact that Apple's produced it as well, that comes at a premium also. So look, it's not for everyone. Not everyone can afford this, and unfortunately not everyone can experience what I've experienced. But I'll tell you now, I would buy this. I would pay money for this, not because of what it can do now, which is incredible. I'm excited for its potential, what it can do in the future, what developers have in store, what the different sporting bodies and entertainment studios, what they've got in mind for this sort of content as well. So that's it. The Vision Pro goes on sale in Australia this week, starts at $5,999. I've got to say, this is an exciting product. The future has arrived. If those of you who end up trying it, and you can do that in Apple stores, book yourself a demo. It's about half an hour. You get to experience Vision Pro for yourself. I highly recommend you do that. If you want to find out more about Apple Vision Pro, you can read our complete review at techguide.com.au. Thanks for watching.